You know, school doesn't feel like a place of learning anymore. Sometimes it feels like a battlefield. Not a battlefield with fists or noise, but a battlefield inside your own head. Distractions attacking you from every direction. Thoughts pulling you away from what you want to focus on. Assignments piling up like enemies you never picked a fight with. And that quiet voice saying, "You're falling behind." Again. If you're a student right now, you already know this fight. It's not physical, it's mental. And the real danger? Most people don't even realize they're losing until it's too late. I say this because I used to lose these battles every single day, not because I wasn't smart, but because I didn't know the techniques. The mental techniques that turn your brain from a confused wanderer into a focused fighter. Today, we're fixing that. In this video, you're going to learn 10 mental fighting techniques that every student needs, not for violence, but for discipline, clarity, and being able to learn faster without feeling overwhelmed. These techniques are simple, quiet, almost invisible from the outside. But once you start using them, your mind becomes sharper, your habits become cleaner, and studying stops feeling like a losing battle. Let's start with technique number 1. The biggest enemy in the student battlefield is hesitation. You tell yourself you'll start in 5 minutes, and suddenly an hour disappears. The first minute strike is simple. Whenever you need to study, commit to just 1 minute of starting, 1 minute of opening the book, 1 minute of writing the first sentence, 1 minute of reading the first paragraph. It's like throwing the first punch. Once you move, the hesitation dies. I used this during exams when I could feel my brain resisting. I'd say, "Okay, only 1 minute," and almost every time, that minute became 20. Don't overthink the minute. Don't try to prepare. You strike. You move. That's it. When you study, distractions aren't accidental. They are designed to pull you away. Your mental guard is a simple question you ask yourself every time you're tempted to stop studying. Does this help me right now? Or hurt me? This tiny pause is like raising your shield. Suddenly, scrolling doesn't feel harmless. It feels like lowering your guard in front of an enemy. A friend of mine uses this every time he catches himself opening his phone. He whispers, "Guard up," and he closes it. It sounds silly, but it works. Your brain will try to justify distractions. Don't negotiate with it. Sometimes your work becomes one giant, overwhelming monster. A whole chapter, a whole assignment, a whole project. This technique breaks it into tiny, beatable pieces. You don't fight the whole army at once. You take down the front line. Example: instead of study biology, the front line becomes read 2 pages, highlight 5 terms, write 3 sentences of notes. Once you break the line, momentum carries you forward. If you make your tasks too big, the enemy line reforms and overwhelms you again. Keep the pieces small. This technique helps you learn faster without studying longer. At the end of each study session, close your eyes and replay what you just learned, like a short movie. Not memorizing, just remembering the story of the lesson. I used this in university when I felt overwhelmed with information. A 2-minute mental replay made the knowledge stick almost twice as well, because the brain likes closure. Don't replay facts word for word. Replay concepts, structure, flow. Here's the truth. Your brain doesn't get tired from studying. It gets tired from switching tasks. This technique isolates distractions before you begin. Put your phone in another room. Turn off extra tabs. Prepare water so you don't wander off. Think of it like locking the doors before battle. Nothing gets in. Nothing pulls you out. One of my viewers told me he calls this building the arena. I like that. If you keep your phone within reach, you've already lost. Distance matters. This one saved my grades. When you can't concentrate, don't try to study for hours. Just fight for 1 page. 1 page of notes, 1 page of a textbook, 1 page of problems. Your brain sees it as small. Your confidence grows. And when you finish 1 page, your mind quietly says, Maybe I can do another. This technique is powerful because it builds identity. You stop feeling like someone who avoids work and start feeling like someone who completes things. Don't aim for perfection on the page. Aim for completion. When you feel stressed, overwhelmed, or mentally stuck, your brain goes into survival mode, not learning mode. This technique resets your system in 10 seconds. Inhale for 4. Hold for 2. Exhale for 6. Your heart rate drops. Your mental fog clears. Your brain becomes ready to work again. I use this before every exam. It calmed my panic and sharpened my focus. Don't rush the breath. The power is in the slow exhale. Deadlines force the brain to focus. But when a deadline is far away, you feel nothing. This technique creates a fake deadline that's close enough to activate your brain. Example: you have 20 minutes to finish this section. It snaps your attention into the present, as long as the deadline is believable. I use this with a timer, not as pressure, but as a reminder that time is valuable. Don't set unrealistic deadlines. They break trust with yourself. Every hour, ask yourself, if someone watched me for the last 10 minutes, would they say I was actually studying? This question is uncomfortable, and that's why it works. It forces honesty. It keeps your mind accountable. It makes you aware of your own effort. This technique helped me stop fake productivity. You know, when you're sitting with your books, but your mind is somewhere else. Don't judge yourself harshly. The goal is awareness, not guilt. The strongest mental technique of all. When you say things like, I'm lazy, I procrastinate, I'm not good at studying, your mind accepts that identity and behaves accordingly. Identity override replaces those labels with new ones. I'm learning discipline. I'm building focus. I'm someone who improves every day. When you adopt this identity, your actions slowly follow, not overnight, but consistently. This is the technique that changed everything for me. Because once your identity shifts, every other technique becomes easier. Remember, every day as a student is not a test of intelligence. It's a test of mindset. If you use even one of these techniques today, you'll feel the difference. And if you want more videos like this, tips that actually help you learn faster and live with more control, subscribe, like the video, and tell me in the comments. Which technique are you going to try first? Because the battle isn't out there. It's in your mind. And with the right techniques, you can win it.